I'm Lisa, and I'm the mom half of this duo.
And I'm Shada. I'm Lisa's daughter. And welcome to Two Peas in a Plot, our little corner of the internet where we talk all things books.
We read across genres and love everything from underrated gems to longtime favorites.
And just a quick heads up while we try to avoid spoilers, we do talk about what we liked or didn't. So there might be a few light spoilers along the way just to give you some context.
So if you love stories and want to grow your TBR, hit that subscribe button and join the plot. So this time, Shada, if you could pick my next read, what would you have me read? I'm going to give you four choices. First
Ooh,
one
four.
is,
Okay.
yeah, four. I made it. I was originally going to do three, but now it's four. The Lion Women of Tehran, which I don't have, is coming Wednesday because I wanted to paperback. The next one is Miss Benson's Beetle. It sounds really cute. It's a New York Times bestseller. It's about adventure and friendship. Then we have The Hazelborn Ladies Motorcycle and Flying Club. This one sounds, and it's a national bestseller. This one sounds more like a fictional novel, which I'm not. Well, I guess the other one is
A
too.
fictional
And you
novel.
like that? That's my
I
new
that's what
terminology.
most novels are, fictional novels.
It says a novel on the front of it. I don't know if you can see it. And
Yeah, oh
then,
yeah.
but it's fictional. Fictional? A fiction.
Well, a
Fiction?
novel, I've always heard a book can be fiction or nonfiction. A novel is always fiction.
Okay.
Like if
But
something is a
what?
novel, it's always fiction.
So, like a genre, like I always read a certain genre, but these to me don't have like a specific genre. So, what would you call those?
These kind of seem like, well, I'm just kind of looking at the descriptions. They seem a little historical. Most of them seem historical, like
Uh,
pre-1980s, which I think is
yeah.
crazy. Like someone called
That's so
1980s fiction
funny.
historical fiction, and I was
Yeah.
like, what? But pre-1980s, I would say you're in historical territory. So historical fiction, maybe also literary fiction or
That's the word I'm thinking
women's
of.
fiction, depending on who
Yes.
you're asking. So I think it's kind of at the intersection of all of those. So
Okay.
historical, women's, literary fiction. We'll just make up our own genre.
Okay. So I was making it my own terms, but then my last choice would be lessons in chemistry.
Okay. So I know you've kind of mentioned each of them except for this, the
The
Hazelborn
Hazelborn,
Ladies Motorcycle and Flying Club.
because I can never
Um,
remember the title.
it's a lot of title.
Yeah.
I would say, oh, I'm looking through the descriptions here. I would actually say Miss Benson's Beetle because that sounds so cute. And I
Does it?
think it's older ladies, right? That are friends as they're a little bit older, or one of them's older. I don't know. It just sounded like it sounded really cute and fun.
It sounds really cute. Yes. I think one is older. I think she's a teacher, but I haven't looked at the description in a while. I saw it, someone described it, and I was like, that sounds so cute, something different. But I like it when women have these friendships and they're kind of opposite people. And evidently, I'll have to review it. It just sounds so cute. And part of the wording behind the book is two spirited women, one journey to the edge of the world. And one woman is looking for this. Yeah, Miss Marjorie Benson, a school teacher and spinster, is trying to get through life surviving on scraps. One day she reaches her breaking point, abandoning her job and small existence, and sets out on an expedition to the other side of the world in search of her childhood obsession, an insect that may or may not exist. It just sounds different, funny, and cute. And all of these I'm looking forward to. I just thought it'd be fun for Shada to pick my next read. So you might have to do the same to me eventually, but you'll have to give me four choices and I'll have to look them up. You read a lot different than me.
I read a lot different.
You're more
I don't
sophisticated.
know that necessarily that I'm more sophisticated. What I'm reading now, though, I can show you because it's short. And
Hmm.
I'm just like, I'm usually the one who like the bigger, the chunkier book, the better. It's called, oh no, I'm not going to be able to find it. Right now, I'm reading Slewfoot by Brom. It's um it's set in Puritan colonial America, and it's like a really dark fairy tale. And Brom is also an artist, so there are like a few illustrations in the book. The cover just looks so pretty and
Oh, yeah,
spooky.
I love the cover.
And
Huh, I've never heard of that one.
yeah, I think oh, best of book talk. That's what Amazon is telling me. I think, I'm not really on TikTok at all, but that algorithm surges in Amazon because then I get shown like, oh, maybe you'll like
Oh,
this. And I am enjoying it. And it's very, I don't know how historically accurate it is, but it's in Puritan colonial
hmm.
America. And the Puritans are just wild. No wonder England was like, get out of here. We don't want you because I wouldn't want to be around them either. They just seem like horrible people.
Oh,
But I know we could talk about that later. But this is what I'm reading right now.
that I love the cover of the book.
Yeah, his art is just
And she
stunning.
doesn't look like she has real legs. She looks
No,
like she's half horse or
yeah,
something.
she has goat
Slewfoot, maybe
legs.
because it says Slewfoot.
Yeah, yeah.
Duh. Oh,
Slewfoot
that's.
is one of the kind of demons that haunts the forest next to their village, and things are, I have a feeling Slewfoot is gonna potentially possess someone new.
Mm.
May or may not be our main character, but yeah,
Well,
it's really good so far.
I love to hear about it, but I couldn't read that. That's scary. That's worse than it's like not worse. I shouldn't say it that way. It's scarier to me than a psychological thriller because I can't figure out what's going to happen. And it's like that one movie we watched that was really good. Again, it's with I thought all these zombies were going to come out
Oh, the
and they weren't.
show, The
Yeah.
Last of Us. Yeah, it's
Yes.
it's a father-daughter
It
story.
was a good,
It's not a zombie
you
story.
know, I was so
It's a
worried
very
about this song.
violent. It's a very violent father-daughter story, but
Yeah, I don't think the violence bothers me as
as much as
I
the
don't know.
zombies popping out at you.
Yeah, zombies and being chased and
Yeah.
some of it was pretty suspenseful, I feel.
Yeah.
But
The whole episode with David, I don't know if you remember the where Joel, sorry, we're just gonna go on a tangent here, which
mhm,
you can cut out if you'd like to.
yeah.
That when Joel is injured and then Ellie kind of has to, she's trying to find medicine for him and she finds these people and she's like, I need medicine. So they trade medicine, but then she realizes that he's kind of crazy and then he ends up kidnapping her later and it's like a whole ki
Oh,
the people don't realize that they're eating other people, but
right.
the main guy, the crazy guy, he knows that he's making everyone eat other people.
Yeah,
Oh, that was the scariest part. That's scarier than any zombie.
it was scary. It's just a different kind of, I guess, suspense or so I'm not used to it, so it unnerves me, I guess is the best way to describe it. Okay, so maybe I will read that one next. I'm reading Independence and I haven't gotten very far, and that's going to be a heavier book. So I wanted something light to read. So that'll be a good one. This one was a light read. This is called Summer at Tiffany by Marjorie Hart. It was published January of 2007. I chose the book through Kindle Unlimited. It is considered a nonfiction memoir or biography memoir. The story is set in the summer of 1945. Marjorie and Marty are 21 and are great friends who attend college in Iowa and travel to New York to hopefully work in a retail store for their summer off from school. They have no luck with any retail stores, but on a whim, apply and get a job working as pages at Tiffany. This would be the first time that Tiffany hired females to work as pages. In their job position, they see celebrities, gangsters, and the very wealthy clients that would come in to purchase items from the Tiffany store. There is an innocence in the time period and possibly news of the war ending. The author retells many of their experiences throughout the summer, and one of those first experiences is going to the beach and swimming in the ocean for the first time. It is a time in history where I would love to travel back in time for the day to wear the clothes, visit the fancy clubs with live music. That means a full orchestra and the old big band music, which I love. I am sure it wasn't all wonderful, but I am dreaming here, and that is what I would like to experience in my time travel. After the war ended, Marjorie learned more information on a fire that occurred when she was at school in Iowa on the floor above hers in the chemistry building, which was considered a secret project of some sort. And when the fire broke out, they were not allowed to leave the room. The fire is above them
Wow.
in their same building, in their chemistry building.
Is
But
it,
it
wait,
was,
is this in the book?
yes, it's a true
Oh,
story. Yeah. But it was because Iowa State had been working on part of an atom bomb in her chemistry building. Can
that
you
is,
believe that? I can't believe that.
that's crazy.
It is really a joyful read, very fast, easy read. I could even read this during the summer, the fall, the spring, Christmas, whatever. I loved reading about Marjorie and Marty's time that summer at Tiffany and their experiences in the city on the weekends. It was really cute. I think she also explains that some of the employees couldn't look at them directly because they weren't used to working with women, so their eyes would look past them. And one of the girls, I guess it
Wow.
was Marjorie, she said at first when they would do that, she would think someone's behind her and she'd want to look over her shoulder. But it was really because he had a hard time talking to the women. But it just sounded like such a lovely job. They had these beautiful dresses that they would wear. One of the secretaries that worked in the office had purchased them from a really high class retail store, and they would come and change into these outfits. And I think one time they came, they were soaking wet, and they forgot umbrellas to pack from Iowa. They didn't have umbrellas. They got, it was just, it's just a sweet and different story during that time period. And they go out with some military men. They called them midshipmen. I guess the ships would, dock and they would have time on leave. And that's how I guess they dated. I thoroughly enjoyed it. I didn't know it was published in 2007. I didn't realize till I was finished the story and realized how long ago it was published. Didn't realize it.
Well, and I'm looking at it now, and I don't, you may have said this earlier, but this is actually a memoir, and the author herself, well, the author is one of this two-part duo, I guess, of the characters. So I would imagine she's very old now if
I
she
think
was
she
very
might
old
be
when
in
she
her
wrote it.
90s.
Yeah. Because it seems like, yeah, it seems like she's only a few years older than Nana, so definitely in
Yeah.
her mid to late 90s. But that's so cool.
And I think back then to even go to college, I think they were in a sorority and Marty was her roommate. And I guess one of the sorority sisters was bragging that she got a job in the city in New York City at Lord and Taylor, or, high class. And they tried, and there would be lines and lines of girls.
Oh my goodness, just to try to get a job there?
Right.
Wow.
And finally, some of them would say they'd go to some of the stores and they'd just say, try next year. It's
Wow.
just was they weren't going to get a summer
But they got
job.
in at Tiffany? That's crazy.
I think it
Did,
was on a fluke to get the way
oh,
it happened. You have to read it, how they got this job. It's just so funny. And then the people that they lived with that rented a room to two girls, it sounded really hot and uncomfortable, but they're young and they were like a family and they took the girls out to a club and out to dinner one time and it's just something they'd never experienced. So how fun to experience that for the first time. And then they
so
made fun
cool.
of them being from Iowa. They wouldn't recognize the state Iowa. They called it Ohio.
That's, oh my goodness, that's hilarious.
Isn't that
I
funny?
wonder if they did it on purpose or if they were just like, no, that's not a state.
They just
That
decided not to correct them and just accept the,
sure, Ohio, that sounds
yeah.
good. Did I wanted to ask you, I don't know if you
Mhm.
have the what format you have it in, but do they have pictures of the dresses that they wore?
They have pictures, but it's mostly of Tiffany. They have them sitting around with a guy she refers to in the story that she dated that was in the military. And same with Marty. Had I don't think they were married to either one of them, but they dated. Especially Marjorie dated one gentleman in particular. I can't remember his name. I don't have the book. It was I checked it out on Kindle Unlimited, so I returned it. But yeah, they do have stories. So if you purchase the book, then you could refer, to looking at the pictures. I almost thought I would want to do that, but I wasn't sure I was going to like it as much as I did, but I really did enjoy it. It was a really sweet, relaxing, entertaining read, just adorable. And I
I
didn't
like,
expect that.
yeah, I like also seeing, it kind of reminds me, I don't know why I was thinking about this the other day, but Nana's pictures of that time, like right around 1945, she just looks like this all-American, was she's got she never had the victory roll haircut, but, and she was still, I think, a teenager, like 16 years old in the mid 40s. So it's a little bit younger than these girls, but it just looks like you would never know that there was a war happening
Yeah.
over in Europe. So
Well,
I think
that's the
that's,
other thing. They were able to go, they would always go to the crowds. I think it was Times Square that they went to because they had the feeling that the war was going to be announced, that it ended. And sure enough, they were there, and Marty had to come later. So there were three of them. They ended up getting a third girl in their little bitty apartment. And so the three of them experienced the end of the war at Times Square.
wow.
Everybody, I guess I wouldn't call it ticker tape. I don't know what it was, but the confetti and people yelling. And they said one military guy was going around to every female and giving them a kiss.
Oh, yeah,
Kissing
I saw
everybody.
that super famous picture.
Hmm.
Apparently, she did not want to be grabbed and kissed. And he grabbed her and he kissed her and she was like, "Don't do that again."
It was a beautiful picture, though, I
Great
think.
picture, but ooh, the story behind it,
Yeah.
not as romantic as no, and he
I
looks like
wouldn't
he's
want to be
breaking her
kissed by a,
back too.
yeah,
No, get away from me.
I wouldn't want to be kissed by a stranger, but they were so elated that it was over. And then that's when they found out later when she went back home to go back to school, she found out what Iowa State was.
That's
I say Iowa
crazy.
State, but I think it was the University of Iowa. But the university that she attended in Iowa was working on the atom bomb in the floor above her in her class.
That's crazy. That is that's kind of
And they
scary.
couldn't leave. And what about the
Why?
chemicals? You know?
Yeah.
Because it was a secret project. That's all they knew. There was some secret project on that floor that they
That
couldn't
seems
go.
even weirder that you couldn't evacuate if there's a secret project
Hmm.
or unless they're worried about radiation leakage and then like, well, we may just have to quarantine the whole building, so you have to stay here. I don't know why they would do that.
Maybe not nowadays, but back then, I don't know. It
Yeah.
was funny. It was a good read. I highly recommend it. A lovely read, and you can get it through Kindle Unlimited, or purchase the book. It's a lovely book. I think I might go back if I want to, keep one of those. I think I could reread that just to experience their summer there again. And they gave them the greatest gifts. I wish they could have kept the dresses. They never said that they did, but they gave Marjorie some sort of silver, I think a teapot of some sort or
Oh,
something. No,
wow.
maybe it wasn't silver. It was like a patterned that her mother had in her china. And she still had it to that day.
That is so cool.
So it was really neat experience for the girls. Well, that's all we have for you today. We appreciate you hanging out with us. Thanks for being here and talking books with us.
And if you love stories and want to grow your TBR, hit that subscribe button and join the plot with us. And we'll see you in the next chapter. Bye, y'all.
Bye bye.